All right, so today you're going to take all that information that you learned about Pythagorean theorem and you're going to apply it to word problems. Okay, so part of doing these word problems is I'm going to require you to draw a picture of a triangle that's going to help you solve this problem. Okay, so we're going to do, I want you, before we start, just go ahead and cross off number 5. You're not going to do number 5. It's the only one you're crossing off. You will have 15 problems or 14 problems to do. We're going to do the first 2 together, and then you'll have the remaining to do. The answers on your worksheet are at the bottom of your worksheet, upside down. But you can't just give me a worksheet, or actually all your work is going to be a separate sheet of paper. You can't give me a separate sheet of paper that just has the answers. I will give it back to you as incomplete and you will not receive credit. I need to see the work that you did to get there, including the picture of the triangle that you drew based on the words. Is that clear? Any questions about showing your work today? Okay. So we'll do the first 2 together. Let's look at number 1. So number 1 says, the slide at a playground has a height of 6 feet. So my slide is 6 feet high. Okay. The base of the slide measured on the ground is 8 feet. So from here to where it lands is 8 feet. It wants to know the length of this side. So what do we know about this type of triangle? This is a right triangle, right? So what side is this going to be? A, B, or C? This is side C. Okay, so we drew the picture, right? And we're going to write our equation. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared, right? And you're going to take the information that you have. I like to say my shortest side is side A. You don't have to. Doesn't matter. I like to say the short side is side A. And then the middle is going to be 8. So what is 10 going to be? That's what you need to figure out. I mean, what is C going to be? So now, yesterday we talked about some things called triples. What is side C going to be? Because it's a triple. So we're going to do the same thing we did yesterday. C equals 10. It's a triple. If it's not a triple, you continue solving the problem. Any questions on this one? So? Then you square it, and then you take the root. Okay? All right, so let's go on to number 2. And then I'm going to give you some important information. Okay, so number 2 tells me a 17-foot ladder is leaning against the wall of a building. The height from the ground to the top of the ladder, so ground to the top of the ladder, is 15 feet. The ladder, we said, was leaning against the wall, was how long? How big of a ladder was it? What's it say?
17.
It says a 17-foot ladder, so the length of this ladder is 17 feet. How far away? So it wants to know side B. Okay, so we can write that up again. I'm going to say this is going to be, yeah, I want you to write that equation. The more often you write it, the more it becomes a habit, and the more you know what that it is that you need to do. Okay, so I'm going to say 15 squared, we'll call it. We'll say we don't know what B squared is, but we know that C. How come I'm saying that C is 17? Because it's the diagonal, right? And it's across from that right triangle, from that right corner. It's my hypotenuse. All right. Do you see anything in your triples that might give you a clue as to what B might be?
Yeah.
What do you think B is equal to? Because it's a triple, 8, 15, 17, right? So B is equal to 8, and I know this because it's a triple. Pretty easy so far, right? But I do want you to draw the picture, label it appropriately, and then write your equation and the substitutions that you're doing to find your answers. So there is work involved, okay? So we've done 1 and 2. We've crossed off 5. There's 15. So you have 12 problems left to do. Actually, you know what? I want you guys to do number 3, and then we'll check. Go ahead, do number 3. Check your work. Make sure it matches mine. If it doesn't, and here's what I saw a lot of you guys putting these in the opposite directions. Make sure you're listening to the words. Okay, it said it was 5 feet away from the wall, and the ladder was leaning. So you want to know that the distance from the end of the ladder to the wall was 5. Either way, you're going to get the right answer if you do the work. But you got to make sure that you understand that the ladder is the one that's leaning on the wall. So the ladder is going to be 13 feet. So be real careful when you're reading these questions. Make sure that you're reading them completely to have a clear understanding of what it is that you need to do. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and break you guys up into groups. Actually, no. I'm going to let you guys pick a group of 4 that you're going to work with. Excuse me, I'm speaking. You're going to pick a group of 4 to work with. You may move to an area where you can work together. Please do not mess my desk up. 2 of you can move your desk so that you have a group of 4 that you're working with. Do not move them from the area or vicinity that they're in. Okay? Once you're in your group of 4, Mr. Gonzalez and I will be walking around and make sure that what you're working on is this math. Okay? Go ahead and pick your groups. You take about 2 minutes to get settled.